Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, I'm Samantha. I'm the owner of Stickers by Samantha, and today I'm going to be sharing with you something I'm kind of nervous to say, but it's a shop update and also just advice or like my perspective for other small business owners to see. So let's talk about why I closed my Shopify website and am moving back to Etsy 100%. Before we get into the reasons, I do want to say I think every small business owner should have an Etsy. I don't think it hurts you at all, and I can get into that in another video, but the basis is you're just paying the fees and that's it. For a website, you're paying to have your website open all the time, even if you're not getting sales. So like on top of not making sales, you're also paying a bill. On Etsy, if you're not making sales, you're not losing money. So I feel like everybody should have an Etsy in addition to their website because it's a whole other market of people that are shopping there. Anyway, let's get back to why I personally am closing my website. Today it closed. It's no longer open. If you go to it, it redirects you to my Etsy shop. As most other people did, I moved away from Etsy when they raised their fees in like 2022 or 23. I moved to Shopify, made a website there, and I've had that website, I want to say for a year or two now, and I feel like I have seen the best and the worst of both Etsy and Shopify, and I have come to the conclusion that it is best for me to not continue with my own website and to go back to selling 100% through Etsy. First and foremost, I was paying over $650 a year for my website, which is not a lot of money to some people, not a lot of money to me for my business expenses, but at the same time, it was not worth it for not driving that much traffic to it. My Etsy, I get probably 90% of my orders from my Etsy shop, so paying over $650 a year for 10% of my customer base to shop on my website was just not a smart move anymore. And I don't know why, but I thought I was paying $300 a year for my website. I don't know why it didn't register to me that I was paying over $600. Once I realized that and it kind of clicked in my head, I was like, is this even worth it? And that's when I started thinking about the pros and cons of my Etsy versus my Shopify, and it just was not worth it in the end, mainly because of the price, but also because of a lot of other small things that seemed really small and insignificant until they added up, and then I realized like, oh, you're also paying $650 for this, and these things should be included in that, and they're not, or these problems shouldn't exist paying that amount of money. So let's get into what some of those things are. The first thing is that you can't customize the packing slips, which seems really silly to even think about, but on Etsy, I can customize the packing slips. I can leave the customer a note, a discount code. I can remove and add certain information that I want on there. And Shopify, you can't do any of that. It just prints everything, and I feel like it has way too much information on it that I don't necessarily want. It shows me the customer's phone number, email, all that, and I don't really like my customers knowing that I can see that because I don't look at it. I don't look at that information. That information is just there so that your confirmation emails and text messages can be sent to you. I'm not personally using that information, but I feel like it makes it so uncomfortable to see that your phone number is printed out on a piece of paper. So I wish I could remove that, and I can't. And there were other things I wish I could add to the packing slips that I can't. And on Etsy I can, and I don't pay $650 on Etsy. The next thing was, I absolutely love that you can add apps to everything. If you want a different email service, you can add that to your website. If you want to add a countdown at the top of your website, you can do that. There's an app for literally everything, which I absolutely loved, but what I hated was a lot of the things that you can add to your website for a certain price should have been included in the $650. I have custom sticker options that are text or photos, and I loved being able to have my customers upload the photo or the text directly to their order, and I had to add 2 different apps for that, and I had to pay for them. So that was nice. I loved that. That was like one of the reasons I even moved from Etsy to Shopify, was so that the pictures could be directly linked to the order and to that specific listing, because I have a lot of different custom options. And so that was really nice. It was one of the main reasons I wanted to go to my own website. But then when I started to think about the fact that I paid $650 and I have to pay on top of that for a text app and for a photo app, that's crazy. You can add custom text on Etsy for free. So the fact that my Shopify website that I pay $650 for, which I'm gonna keep stressing because that's the main point of this, and I want you guys to understand, like, it's a lot of money, and I'm paying $650. I know some people who are paying 700, over 700. It just depends on what apps you have to add for what you sell and what you want on your website. And I just think these two apps I was using, at least the text one, should be automatically on your website for free. I shouldn't have had to pay for that. Third thing, the email templates are horrible. I don't understand how one person, am paying $650 every single year, and there's not somebody sitting at Shopify designing cute templates year round. Like, how is that not somebody's job? A lot of people use outside sources to do their emails. I just think that should kind of be included in what your website offers. And the next thing was they changed the back end of how you add tags to your products. So before I could upload, like, let's say like a cow sticker, and I could type, cow, black and white, animal, farm, all those different tags that when somebody's searching my website, if they want to see all the farm animals I have, they can type in farm, that'll come up. So before you type it, hit enter on the computer, on your phone, whatever you were editing on, that's how simple it was. They changed it a couple months ago to be very complicated. Like, I could not ever figure out how to enter it. Sometimes hitting enter would remove the tag, sometimes it would add it. It was just so complicated. It took so long to upload my new products, and it was such a small thing that I just stopped worrying about it. But again, as I was reviewing the pros and cons of Shopify, I realized that is something that should not be that complicated or should not take that long. They shouldn't have changed it. I don't like it. The last thing is probably the least significant and the pettiest reason why I don't think the $650 is worth it. And that is because when I fulfill an order, I hit fulfill, I put the tracking number in, I refresh, close out of the app, the icon still shows that I have open orders. And that bothers me so much because I have to open and close and refresh 15 times before that badge goes away, which is not a problem, but it's so annoying. Go away. I fulfilled my orders. Stop making me think I didn't. That is just the last thing. It was so, like I said, all of these things by themselves are really insignificant, but at the same time, that's the issue. They're so insignificant that they should not be a problem. They should be included in the almost $700 that I'm paying. Other people are paying even more. Those things don't need to happen if we're paying that much money for our website. Oh, actually, one more thing I just thought of. Another thing I love about Etsy is that when you send out an order, a certain amount of days after that person receives their order, they are emailed to rate your product. On Shopify, they have a bunch of different email segments that will do the same thing, but they don't have it for reviews. And also, Shopify literally just got rid of their review app. You have to download another app to do reviews, and it's just so much harder to get people to leave reviews without someone emailing them and asking them to do it. And I feel that loses you a lot of credibility. If you go to a website and there's no reviews anywhere, it's so hard to trust the website, especially if you don't personally know the person. With Etsy, they email, ask the customer to leave a review, and so you can have tons of reviews and it adds to the credibility. It also tells you how many sales people have. On Shopify, anybody's website could be a scam, and it's just a little sketchier, and so I feel Etsy is more trustworthy from the customer's perspective. Now, after that being said, there's tons of things I love about Shopify, and I know I'm gonna miss it. I love having creative control over what my website looks like. I love being able to organize the website however I want, adding products, deleting products without having to worry about the 20-cent listing fee that Etsy has. I love that. But at the same time, they still have a transaction fee. You still have to pay for all these apps that you add. And on top of that, you're paying monthly or yearly for the website to be up, regardless if you get orders or not. And on Etsy, you don't have to worry about that. Like I said earlier, if you don't get orders, you don't pay anything. There's no cost. At this point in time, having my shop open on a website is just not the right choice for me. I could be putting that $700 towards other things in my business, towards products, towards marketing and other ways, towards a savings for my taxes, anything else other than my website sitting there that's only getting 10% of my traffic to it. All of that being said, I would still 1000% recommend people getting a website of their own if they're able to draw the traffic to it and if they're able to build a community around their business. I feel you really need the reviews, you really need the community to make you look trustworthy and professional and if you can afford it and that money is not even a dent to you, then absolutely go for it. It is so much fun having your own website, and it's obviously like what everybody eventually wants. I feel like it's like opening a brick and mortar. Like, it's this place that's your own for your company, and it's not just like, there is a little bit of a stigma around Etsy. I feel like people just think like, oh, I'll open an Etsy shop, like it's just people crafting and whatever. So I 1000% would still recommend opening a Shopify website if that is what you want to do. My biggest piece of advice would be to start the free trial, and during that time figure out what apps you would want to add. If you want to add a counter, like look at other people's Shopify websites, see what they're doing, see what you like about theirs, what you don't, see if you can figure out how to do it on your website. If it's an app you need to add that price to your standard price for the basic package of Shopify, and make sure that that is something that makes sense for your business. So I hope that didn't sound too negative. I definitely love Shopify. I would love to be back on there one day. I just wanted to update my customers that we are moving from Shopify back over to Etsy. It's pretty simple. It's just like shopping online anywhere else. The only thing that changes is custom orders. You just send me a message with the picture instead of being able to upload it directly. And for my other small business owners, I wanted to give you my raw thoughts as I'm currently in the process of moving over to Etsy again. I'm posting this on the day that my website is closed, but it's about 2 weeks that I've been preparing for this. And so I wanted to give you like my thoughts that I have right now about why I'm doing it, and hopefully that can help you make your decision. I hope it didn't sound too negative against Shopify. I love Shopify. I will be going back one day if that's something I decide to do. Shopify is the place I'll go. But for right now, that is just not something that's smart for my business or myself. So I just wanted to tell you guys why. Sorry if this was a little bit of a longer video. I hope you guys enjoyed it though, and I hope you guys like the quality of the sound. I got a new microphone. Let me know your thoughts. If you found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more, and I will see you guys in the next one.